girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Sunday. Happy July. Today is July 2nd, and you know July is my birthday month. My birthday is in exactly 27 days, but who's counting? So I want to come on and do a vlog. Today has been like a lazy Sunday for me. Catching up on some shows, a lot of internet research. You know, when you're, as I always say, when you're trying to pinky and brain it, which is my way of saying when you're trying to plan how to take over the world, meaning how to build your business and your brand, it calls for a lot of research. It calls for a lot of day-to-day things when I have free time and I'm at home. So, you know, I decided to do some research today, trying to still get some things in order. There's still so many goals that I have for Complex Simplicity, and I'm relentlessly grinding out here, y'all. But I wanted to come on because we know for the hip-hop culture, June 30th was a huge moment. Jay-Z released his 13th studio album entitled 444. And I've been a Jay-Z fan, a whole fan, since I probably was like 12 years old. I remember, as I used to always share this story throughout the website, you know, my brother was a huge music head, huge hip-hop head. And when he'd be out hanging out with his friends or working at the grocery store, I'd sneak into his room, his bedroom, and my brother had every CD you could think of, from hip-hop to R&B, you know, all types of music, pop, gospel. And so I would sneak in his room and listen to a lot of hip-hop, y'all. And, you know, that's how I got put on the whole Tribe Called Quest, Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls, Pac, like, and the list goes on. So I was a young girl listening to Reasonable Doubt, listening to The Life and Times of Sean Carter, volumes 1, 2. You know, I was young listening to these things. And the crazy thing is I felt like a lot of my girlfriends or my friends in general couldn't always relate to my love and passion for music at the time. So, you know, those moments that I'd be in my brother's room, I'd lay down on the carpet, I'd have the lights off, and I'd just zone out to the music. And so I say all of that to say that I'm not just someone who's jumping on the whole Jay-Z for the culture moment. Like, I've been following this man forever, right, since his first album. And, you know, have loved his clever bars, have loved his lyricism, you know, his candor, loved his beats, loved his flow, you know, from the days where he used to flow quickly till now with the swag juice on it, you know. So when I give my review on this 13th studio album entitled 444, I need you to understand the history and that I'm not just some D-rider. Like, I've been following this man for several years, right? And so I'm a Tidal member, you know, and that album was released for Tidal members midnight, June 30th. And so after I finished blogging, I timed it exactly. Once the clock struck midnight, I was on Tidal listening to the album. And my husband was upstairs sleeping, so I had to play it low. So then I said, you know what? Let me go to bed because I do have to get up and work out and go to work. And I put my headphones in my phone because I had the Tidal app on my phone as well. And I listened to the album. On my way to work the next day, I listened to the album. Going from work to visit my parents, I listened to the album. Going from my parents' house back to home to my house, I listened to the album. Saturday, hanging out with the husband, having a date night, I was playing the album. So I'm a huge believer that you have to live with the record. When your favorite artists, or when artists in general come out with albums, you have to live with it. You know, I was watching and listening to some DJs and other people's reviews, like, yeah, I played the record, I'm only gonna play it twice. I feel like you have to live with this record. It took a lot of these artists months upon months to come out with this art. We're not gonna get the vision all the time right away. We're not gonna fully comprehend what they're saying, catch all the punchlines right away. Sometimes you gotta let the album rock for a few days and live with it. And so I love all things Hov, and I could be considered to be biased, but I listened to the album enough, and I love it. I give it, if they were to give like 10 mics or 5 mics, I give it the most mics I can give it. Why? Because he was controversial. I'm all about that, right? I felt like he was answering a lot of unanswered questions that the public has had for so many years, as far as the whole what happened in his relationship or marriage with Beyonce that inspired her to write or co-write or do the Lemonade album. What happened with that quick minute with him and Solange, what happened with him and Kanye, you know, the state of America, what are his thoughts on who is president right now, what are his thoughts on the state of America, what are his thoughts on the state of hip-hop, you know, what are his thoughts as a father, what happened in his childhood with certain things, you know. So it answered quite a few questions that I have had over the years as someone who has listened to this man's entire body of work. For someone who has gone to quite a few of this man's concerts where you see him perform his body of work, right? And so I have to applaud Hove. I think he dug a little deeper with this album. You know, it's funny, my husband was like, I liked it, but you know, everybody's being so conscious now. And I said, babe, we're in a day and time where you need to be conscious. I've always liked conscious music. Hello, I'm a serious Tribe Called Quest head, Talib Kweli, Common, Mos Def, and the list goes on. For years, I've followed these artists and have supported their music. I always appreciated rappers who had other things to talk about other than women, money, sex, murder, drugs, violence, right? I liked when rappers had something else to say that was actually positive, that was conscious. And so I appreciated the fact that Hove got a little conscious. There's been a lot going on in our world lately as it affects us people of color particularly. And I also appreciate the fact that I felt like he shed a layer of armor, or a few layers of armor, where kind of got to understand who Sean Carter is, not just Jay-Z, who Sean Carter is, right? So when I study music, when I assess it, I'm going off of a huge spectrum, right? It's not just about the boom pat. It's not always just about the lyricism. Those are big parts. But I'm also going deeper into what are you talking about? What is your message? I love the fact that he had a lot to say about us as people of color trying to be more owners out here. I love the fact that in the song, The Story About OJ, I believe that's how it's entitled. I love the fact that he's talking about how, you know, what's more important than spending all this money on strippers out here, because let's keep it real, a lot of men and women frequent the strip club throwing that money. What's more important? How about we work on our credit? How about we try to put some money away? How about we try to create opportunities for each other, right? How about we, you know, invest in things that are not just the stereotypical things people invest in when they get $1. Our communities, invest in some art, things that will appreciate with value, things that you can pass down to further generations, people in your family, right? Let's all win. I love, and I'm gonna get into some of my favorite songs. I love pretty much all of the songs. The song that I probably liked the least, that will get the least play, is the song with Frank Ocean. And I probably should take out this track playlist. So the song Caught Their Eyes with Frank Ocean, that may have to grow on me a little more. I loved Kill Jay-Z, him talking about how he had to kill the persona, the ego of the man, right? I love Story of OJ, that's that conscious song. Smile, his story when it comes to his mom and what her truth was as far as her identifying as being a lesbian. And just the positive message that goes along with smiling, right? Positivity. 444, the album title, so to speak. I love that. That's where he really talks about his infidelity and mistakes as it pertains to his wife, the great Beyonce. Family Feud, one of my favorite songs. Beyonce's actually the one singing on this song. I find it interesting that he didn't give her that feature, but maybe he wanted to surprise people. But of course, if you're a Hove fan, you know Beyonce will always be a part of his project or album in some way, shape, or form. Her harmonies were bomb. I love that he was talking that ish. I like swaggy Hove when he's like slightly arrogant, you know, and he's talking right. And this is him talking to the younger generation, like, listen, I'm gonna need y'all to get this thing together. Like, you know, nobody wins when the family feuds. Huge line. Impactful line, something I probably will blog about. I may decide to take a page out of Irv Gotti's book and what he did with his show Tales, where each episode is based off of a hip-hop legendary song. I may like base a vlog off of my favorites of Jay-Z's tracks, because I feel like a lot of it is thought-provoking and it pushes the boundaries with controversial conversation. Family Feud is one of those songs. Bam, I love that. That's featuring Damian Marley. It samples the bum 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 billa bum bum, what the bum bum, which is one of my favorite old school reggae songs. I'm loving that. Moonlight, it's pretty cool, not necessarily one of my favorites. Marcy Me, I'm loving that. He kind of talking about his growing up and legacy. I love that. He uses a big time sample from Layla Hathaway's father, the great Donny Hathaway. And so I'm feeling this album, and I invite you to listen. For those who are not Tidal members, I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is try to get the free membership trial, and remember to cancel it if you don't want to continue to have this service. I don't think that this album will be available on iTunes anytime soon, or Apple Music. You know, I think Hov is making a serious statement. You know, he's a man of color that's with this whole Tidal movement, and he's tired of people, the others, so to speak, no shade to anyone who's white or Caucasian or whatever, but he's tired of them kind of having the reins on hip-hop music, which is founded on the backs of a lot of African Americans. And so I don't know if it will be available to others out there, maybe, not sure. But why not? You know, I think if you do it the right way, you should be able to get your free month subscription, listen to the album, and then cancel it, right? So yes, I would have loved, I tried to do a blog in the More Music For You section with my favorite songs, but you know, Hov and Beyonce, they have their music so licensed up that you can't even share it from YouTube. It's not possible. So that's why I'm putting this in the blog section, so you can at least just get my feedback on my review of Jay-Z's 13th studio album, 444. I think it's bomb and dope. You know, don't get me wrong, I do understand the conspiracy theories of the entertainment business, but as far as just being a music lover, and as far as Jay-Z being my favorite rapper, I think he did his thing. And I'll be honest with you, I know God's still dealing with me, but your girl, whenever he does go on tour, you know, me and my husband, we're gonna try to be right up in there, and I will definitely try to, you know, do vlogs about that if that happens. And so check it out, 444, Jay-Z's 13th studio album. Music lover, it's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Continue to rock with me. Thank you for those who have supported me, and continue to head to ComplexSimplicity.com. Until next time.